official assigned to this one. There is the opening bell.
Sidney Akeem, Jack Cartwheel in the former's first match here in Game Changer Wrestling. First match here in independent wrestling. And you know what they say, Dave, you never forget your first. Oh, roll around town there from Jack Cartwheel.
We'll be seeing a lot of Sidney coming up on GCW events. Avoids that shot from Cartwheel as well.
Let me ask you, Dave, first Sidney, someone stepping into this promotion, stepping into this world for the very first time. What does he have to prove, especially against someone like Jack Cartwheel, who is so accomplished? We've seen him on AEW Collision on TNT. We've seen him on Ring of Honor television, on Honor Club, pretty much weekly at this point. What does Sidney have to prove against a Jack Cartwheel?
He has to do the same thing that any new wrestler making their way into GCW has to do, and that's score victories, impress people, impress the rest of the locker room as well as the fan base. He's starting from scratch at this point in a new company. That's the way he needs to look at things. Headlock takeover right there from Sidney Akeem.
Looking to make it count here is Sidney. You saw him chomping at the bit during Jack Cartwheel's entrance. So excited, so ready for this opportunity. You can tell, taking none of it for granted.
Back to his feet, kipping up out of that head scissors. Back to his feet once again comes Sidney. Sweeps the legs of Cartwheel. He's back up. Very evenly matched up.
A real mirror match in every sense of the word.
And you can tell both of them have done their scouting, their homework, preparing for their opponent here tonight.
Sidney, of course, staying on his toes. Former 24/7 champion is used to having to have eyes in the back of his head, and you certainly need him against Jack Cartwheel.
Able to take Sidney down. Jack hits the ropes, staying on his feet and hands with the cartwheel. Sidney using that second rope for some extra leverage. It's Jack with an arm drag. And a drop kick to follow up.
Folks, if you're enjoying this match, don't blink, because you might miss it.
Two very fast wrestlers and a slow motion cartwheel. That wasn't very fast.
Well, here's my question. We've seen a lot of incredible athleticism from Sidney in his career. In the opening moments of this match alone, can he cartwheel? Is my question.
We haven't seen him attempt it as of yet.
Leapfrog from Jack. Sidney up and over, twisting in midair, ducking the clothesline, and spinning through with a crossbody variation.
Jack couldn't avoid that one.
There's gonna be a lot of variation, a version of. A lot of these moves don't have names because they've never been performed before. Cover. And a kick out from Cartwheel.
And Sidney got even more height on his drop kick just now than we saw out of Jack Cartwheel a moment ago.
And I mean, Dave, let me ask you, Sidney as the relative unknown, not to the world of professional wrestling, but to Game Changer Wrestling, does that give him an advantage or a disadvantage in this contest?
Neither.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. It's two fantastic professional wrestlers meeting for the first time here in GCW. It is on Sidney to score the victory, to make an impression in his debut. You can't rest on your success elsewhere.
Of course, going to see Jack Cartwheel tomorrow in Phoenix. I can't feel my face against man like Darice. Definitely looking for momentum. Heading into that, my God!
Unbelievable athleticism out of both of them. Prepared for one another, without a doubt.
I mean, these are video game characters. These are not human beings.
They're actual human beings that we are watching in front of our very eyes right now.
Only the best here in Game Changer Wrestling, and there it is!
He can, and he can do it slow motion just like Jack.
He answered my question. Thank you, Sidney Akeem.
But I think he just sort of insulted Jack Cartwheel in the process. That's his thing. That's Jack's thing. You can't steal his thing.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I mean,
it's also an insult sometimes.
Cartwheel took the line, head scissors takedown.
Sends Sidney underneath the bottom rope and all the way out to the floor now. But here comes Cartwheel to the second rope. Connects with the moonsault to the floor from the second.
The moon was salted and peppered. A Modelo and a cocktail offered to Jack Cartwheel. He's saying, no, I don't drink on the job.
Maybe if he's victorious after the match, can purchase him a new one.
Hell of a
Let's take another
motivator.
look. Look at this moonsault. Off the second, down to the hardwood floor.
Jack Cartwheel just making it look too easy, and he ain't done. Delayed impact.
The height he got on that.
Cover. And a kick out from Sidney. You know, I was talking to Jack Cartwheel earlier on this evening, and he was saying that it's a year and change removed from his college graduation, and he had the degree, right? He could have gone into an office job. He could have pursued football professionally.
Why?
There were a lot of avenues for Jack Cartwheel. He decided to be a professional wrestler because he loves it, because he's damn good at it, and because, in his words, it makes him the best version of himself. And that's exactly what we're seeing here against Sidney Akeem.
In my estimation, he made a wise decision.
I would agree.
He's very good pro wrestling.
I think Sidney Akeem feels that way off the Cartwheel dragon screw leg whip. Cover here from Cartwheel. Kick out.
Creative variation of the dragon screw.
It's all about creativity, all about ingenuity with both of these athletes.
All about cartwheels,
Well,
Jack.
That's true.
Sidney
Akeem,
clutching his leg right there.
I was going to say,
injury.
no doubt wishing that Jack Cartwheel took one of those other routes, took the office job, took the gridiron. Because right now, Jack Cartwheel just taking it to him, showing him what GCW is all about.
Cartwheel double knees to the midsection. And Jack now hooking the leg. Sidney gets his shoulder up, though.
Kick out. And Dave, the knees, one of the hardest parts of the body. At home, massage those knees, feel those knees. There is absolutely no give in those knees. And Jack Cartwheel just set not one, but both of them into the gut of Sidney Akeem.
He's back up, staggered into the corner. Taking him on a tour of the corners now. Head first into the top turnbuckle goes Sidney. And Jack chopping away at the chest.
Sidney Akeem in a world of hurt here against Jack Cartwheel, but more than happy to repay the favor.
We return to Dallas, Texas, coming up on June 29th. Sidney will be in action on that event against the returning Ninja Mac. Set into the corner, back first right now.
Wants momentum of his own, much like Cartwheel, heading into battle against Darice tomorrow. But Sidney, he's not done yet. That flame has not yet been extinguished.
Fighting his way out of the corner, snapmare. Brings Jack to a seated position. Kick right to the spine. And Sidney now all the way to the top rope. Great height on the moonsault. Cover. But Jack Cartwheel able to kick out. Moonsault press.
Unbelievable impact, unbelievable height. We gotta see that again. That was incredible.
Not enough to put him away, though, and earn Sidney the victory. Look at the height on this.
In slow motion, the height and also the precision. He flopped through the air. Perfect precision, perfect rotation. And Sidney maybe looking to put him away.
But Jack caught him. Sidney staying on his feet. Kick to the midsection, one to the chest.
Catching Sidney in midair.
Jack one step ahead. All the way across the ring. Into the elbow.
That may have been a fatal error for Sidney. That may have been his undoing, his Cartwheel, perhaps zeroing in on victory here.
As Sidney hung up in the ropes right now. Cartwheel out to the apron. See what he has in mind as he climbs up top.
Bad place to be for Sidney. Caught between a rock and a proverbial hard place.
Double stomp to the midsection, cartwheeling across the top rope. But Sidney gets the shoulder up.
You know, it often goes overlooked because of Cartwheel's incredible high-flying agility, his athleticism. But this man is rock solid. He's only gotten bigger. He's only gotten more cut. With a physique like that, a double foot stomp hurts.
Back to the apron goes Cartwheel. Sidney trying to get back up, still down on the mat.
Sidney's in a bad way here.
But he's back up now. And kicking away on Cartwheel takes away his balance up on the ropes.
Again, this is not just any other show for Sidney Akeem. It never is here in Game Changer Wrestling, but this being his first, this being his statement appearance. Hello, world, I am here. He does not just want a victory against Jack Cartwheel. He needs a victory against Jack Cartwheel.
Greco-Roman knuckle lock to the top rope. Both wrestlers go now.
Look at the balance. Think of the balance.
Spanish fly from Sidney.
My God.
Cover.
No.
Very close, but Jack gets his shoulder up at the last split second.
Jack Cartwheel survives, and I don't know how the hell he did it.
Talk about the height on the moonsault. What about that Spanish fly?
And again, that is compounded by holding another human being. It's one thing to the moonsault. That's just your own body. That's amazing in and of itself. Well, holding Jack Cartwheel, it's unreal. It's unreal.
Exchanging forearms now, both wrestlers back in a standing position. Series from Jack now.
Jack, no doubt, feeling the effect of that Spanish fly, the landing, also the rotation in midair is certain to upset the equilibrium.
Boot to the face of Sidney. Pulls him back to the middle of the ring now.
Oh, hold on, Sidney looking to steal it.
Inside cradle.
No.
Almost had him.
Now Cartwheel looking to steal it perhaps. Unorthodox pin, a bridge of sorts here. It's still only a 2.
Kick right to the chest of Sidney. Jack hits the ropes. Avoids a clothesline.
What? Cutter!
Cover! He got him!
Sidney Akeem victorious!
What a debut in GCW for Sidney!
Sidney Akeem!
The amount of rotations, the speed with which he hit those rotations. I mean, look at this. Ducking with one, and then another, and then finally landing that cutter. Sidney Akeem just makes it look too easy. 1-0 in independent wrestling. 1-0 in Game Changer Wrestling.